People come and go so quickly here.
No, I don't know many people.
I know too many people. I guess we're both lonely.
Milk was a bad choice.
You crying? No. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Well, we're lucky to have our next guest. I would say, and I think I'm pretty close on the numbers here, 99% of us, 90% of the time, are jealous of this human's life. But we're in the mix of that 110% of Senator Karin Housley. Don't laugh at me. You're married to a Hall of Famer, and Phil, who wouldn't love that? You're a business mogul. You're a state senator. But I'm telling you right now, there's nothing I want to do with your life in the next week or month or whatever this has been. You are just trapped in this no one wants to do their job correctly thing, and I wouldn't want to be there. I don't know how you do it, Senator.
This has never happened to me before, but since February, every time I step into the Capitol, I get a headache. I never get headaches. I now carry with me Tylenol Extra Strength because I don't know what's going on. I go to the chiropractor, and he said, could it be stress? And I was like, oh, no, there's no stress there. I is falling. Yeah, I never get headaches. I've had it since February, so maybe I should go get it checked out, but I'm just going to blame it on what's going on. So, no, you do not want this life right now.
No, not at all. Let's go back to Thursday. Because I mean, not that we weren't talking, there's problems that we wouldn't get done by today, but this really showed. So the powers that be show up for a press conference. They have got the numbers. We've got it figured out. Governor Walz is talking about it, mentions a couple of things, the big things that were going to trip us up. Then you start hearing the banging on the door. And you're like, well, governor's talking banging the doors. These must be some crazy Republicans. It wasn't. The Democrats, 30 of these Democrats were there beating at the door, yelling, you're killing our communities. And what? The Democrats have 5 of the 6 of the legislators. We knew there was a problem when you heard the door knock.
That was about the only half hour that I didn't have a headache because I was like, what is happening? I got to say, a little bit giddy because the Democrats just imploded. And we were just sitting in caucus, and Mark Johnson was telling us how he has never really been invited to any of these conversations. It's just the 3 leaders. They didn't even ask him to sign the agreement, so he was like, all right, well.
Oh, whoa, that'd be news to me. Wait a minute.
The only caucus in the minority.
Wait a minute.
What are you trying to
You were not, Johnson was not even asked to sign that. We knew he hadn't signed it, but he was.
He was not even asked. Nope.
Well, that could come to bite somebody, right? Because with all this going on, the Senate Republicans now have a little bit of power. They know there are 30 of these Democrats that are off the ship now. Doesn't Johnson have a whole lot of power? Maybe they would have liked him to sign that and treated him nicely.
You know, thinking, Murphy must know more than I know because she probably he assumed he'd gone back to her caucus and she had all 34 of her members because she never once asked him for any of our members. Like, I'm going to need a little help from you guys. Do you have 6 or 7 members that would vote? No, never asked him. So he was like, okay, I guess she's got it figured out. She didn't. I cannot believe they didn't go back to their caucus before they signed that deal. And I would be just as upset. Mark Johnson kept us in the loop of what was going on. We all had to keep it quiet, but he kept us in the loop. But then now, we're sitting pretty good to go, sorry, Aaron Murphy, you do need us to pass some of your bills. So I don't know what they're going to do for that.
Doesn't this start everything all over again? I guess this is I keep trying to get my head around this. So if Murphy can't bring what she thinks she can bring to the table, that there's all these senators saying, no, thank you, we're not going to kill our communities, quoting them, not me. If she can't bring them along, she has to have Republicans. So the Republicans are going to get something they want. Well, doesn't that change the whole plan that has already been discussed? I mean, are we not starting from ground zero?
I think we're starting from ground zero unless like today we break for a little bit and cooler heads prevail. We come back after Memorial Day and maybe she has them all pulled together. But I think they're going to have to, from the way their press conference sounded, those 20 or 30 legislators that are so upset over the deal, they said they will shut down government over that
Wow.
issue of health care for illegal immigrants. Am I breaking up?
Just a little bit, but it's not bad.
Is
It's just
my video breaking up?
no. Your video is fine. If you took it off, your audio
I'll
would be
turn
a
it
little.
off.
Okay, that'd be
Oh,
great.
Okay.
There you go. Now
Yeah.
your audio will be better.
Sorry,
Fantastic.
I'm in the car.
No, it's all right.
I had to do McDonald's drive-thru. That's how healthy we eat these days. is McDonald's drive-thru.
Well, let me ask. Can you tell me? Go ahead. Let me ask you this, Senator. With what was written up and signed by the rest of them, was it a win for Republicans? Was it a win for the Democrats overall? I know there's one sticking point, but in there was a couple of things. We were going to try to get rid of that unemployment insurance for the school workers, for the summer, but that was left in there for 2 years. It's sunsetted. Is that a win for Republicans, or Republicans kind of gave, well, we got a little 50-50 on that?
This one is kind of a soft spot for me because I've got a couple of high school girlfriends that are now old lunch ladies, and they love that provision. But it's breaking the bank for our schools. I mean, it was just a mandate placed on our schools. They can't afford it. Costs a ton of money. So, and of course, that was just part of all of the stuff the Democrats pushed forward in 2023, which now we're starting to have to unravel, even though back in 2023, we told them what was going to happen. They refused to listen, pushed it all through. And now they're like, oh, well, we really did break the bank. Well, we're going to have to try and fix that. So I think giving those workers a heads up and having it sunset, yes, it is a win for us. It's unfortunate that you give them something and then you have to take it away. That's not the way that you should legislate, but they did.
The other bullet points, one was Representative Damath, the Speaker Damath, said no new taxes. For the most part, that's true. There will be new taxes on marijuana, which, of course, I don't know who's selling it anymore, if we're even up and running. So I guess maybe most folks won't be affected by it. They don't care. Is that holding your word, or is that just part of this? We got to compromise.
Well, they did cut spending by $5 billion. That I was pretty impressed with. And we didn't take care of the whole deficit in the tails. The $6 billion deficit will now be less than that. I think it's like $2 billion. So we'll have to do some more cutting. But I think the no new taxes, the Democrats would have just increased taxes by another $6 billion to cover that. So I think towing the line on that. I think she did a really, really good job. It's tough when she's in the room with Walz, Hortman, and Murphy. And again, Johnson's there, but everybody just kind of looks at you like, you're this. But now all of a sudden the Republican Senate does matter because it looks like they're going to. Yep.
So Johnson goes in today with much more power, which is a good thing. Let me ask you on one other deal. This, what is it, Alan? Unemployment, not unemployment, the paid family leave.
Medical leave, yep.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge thing coming up. We really have no idea what the ultimate cost is going to be. But the Republicans got the tax on it from 1.2 to 1.1%. Isn't that just really putzing around the fringes so you can say you cut some taxes?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And it's funny when I sit in caucus and I hear all of this stuff, I think about, like the other night I had all of my neighborhood ladies over and we did a little garden party. And I think they would, that doesn't resonate with them. Like, oh, wow, we cut your taxes on paid family medical leave from 1.2% to 1.1%. Like, what? They're like, so, if you want to inside the bubble, talk that way. But out here in the public, nobody really cares.
Yeah. All right. That's fair enough. I just wondered, now you're saying that those 20-ish Democrats say they will shut down the government for this. If that is, quote unquote, the win for Republicans, because really you're going to close down the government for illegal immigrants getting free health care, that would look good for the Republicans. The Democrats must see that, right? So is that enough pressure to make Murphy cave on a lot of other stuff so that enough Republicans can switch over and get this thing done?
Well,
and what
Murphy
would they
has
hold for?
One of two choices. She either has to make a deal with those people or she has to make a deal with us. And that's where I think she's stuck right now because, but in making a deal with those people, we still have the House and the House is tied. So she's kind of in a conundrum by not going to her own caucus. So this is the fun part. This is what you wait all year for when you're in the minority, because you can't do anything else except to watch them implode. And Hoffman, I know he didn't tell you this morning on his show, but he was ready to take down a Democrat bill yesterday, Senator Fong hers, because Hoffman did not get his money in the legacy bill for the Taste of Minnesota, and he was so upset he voted no on that bill. And all of us Republicans are like, really? You're going to take down your own party member's bill? So there is a huge divide over there. So I think that's why we really need to go to break to give everybody on that side to calm down. Maybe it's best for us. We just keep pushing through and watch them just all fall off. A couple of them aren't even showing up. They're not even showing up.
Well, if you let's just real quick before I go to break. If this is where we're shaping up, we're not going to get done tonight by midnight, correct?
Correct. Never.
Are you guys going to hang around till midnight? Or it's like, as long as everybody knows it, let's just go home at 7?
Oh, my gosh, you sound like my husband. Are you going to be home for dinner tonight? I don't know.
Okay.
We never know.
It seems to make sense. If we all know we're not going to get done, why wait till midnight? But okay, let's just say, so if you're starting at ground zero, how quickly can the management herd this together, make all the right calls, and get this shaped up? Do you really think it'd take 1 week? How many weeks have we been in this session? 16? You think they can do it in one?
Well, I saw somebody tweet, I think it was former Representative Kelly Fenton, and this should make people angry. Here the Democrats don't show up to work for 3 weeks, the beginning of session, and now we're going to need that 3 weeks at the end. That taxpayers are paying us to go back and show up. This is costing taxpayers money. People should be upset about that. I don't think we're going to get done soon. Absolutely not. I think there are bigger problems that are going to take time to, and they know they have this June 30th deadline. So, or the government shuts down. So I don't think they're going to back off this week. I know they're hopeful. Senator Sandy Pappas said, "Oh, Karin, we're going to be done on Friday," and I was like, "There's no way we're done on Friday." So we'll see.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to break. I've got Senator Karin Housley with us. Back with more.
Special interests are represented in St. Paul, but who speaks for you? Center of the American Experiment does. Our policy fellows dig into the tough issues that matter to you and offer common sense solutions on education, taxes, crime, and energy. American Experiment is the trusted, nonpartisan voice of Minnesotans like you. We are working every day to make Minnesota a better, safer, more prosperous place. We are American Experiment. Go to americanexperiment.org to learn more.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
friends. The Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
And we've got our Senator Karin Housley on the program with us. Senator, let me ask you this. We're looking at like a $66 billion budget that will or will not get passed the next month or so. We'll figure it all out. Is there bonding associated with this? I read somewhere that they've come to some sort of agreement. Is that included in the $66 billion? Has somebody been working on this bonding thing? Because I have not read what's in it, what's not, kind of like it's the least important thing. Your thoughts on bonding?
Well, we just happened to be talking to the Republican lead on the bonding committee, and yeah, I don't know if I think I told you that before. Anyway, we did come to an agreement for a $700 million bonding bill. All the four leaders and the governor all thought 700 was a good number. It could have been more, but then we would get no bonding bill next year, and so that's kind of where we ended up. We are meeting, at least every single day for an hour or so, trying to go back and forth with the House and the Democrats to figure out where that can be sprinkled across the state. But the bonding bill will be the last bill passed because, again, they need 2/3 of the legislature to vote for the bonding bill. And so that's kind of the only card we have in the minority.
No, will that happen today?
No, absolutely not. Nope, we will not get that done today. The four leads are Senator Sandy Pappas, Democrat, Representative Fooley, Democrat, Representative Mary Franson, Republican, and myself. So it's the four of us in the room and the four staffers. And so, it's clean water, roads, bridges, and our members said absolutely would they be able to vote for a bill if it stuck to those kind of things, not one of these surprise bonding bills that ends up having all of these special interest and nonprofits that are startups and they get a few $1 million. Like, no, this has to go to what Minnesota really needs.
Okay, but for that, so this is not going to happen by today. So will that be, there'll be two things you'll vote on special session day? That'll be bonding and the budget all at one time, come in, cast 2 votes, and go home?
I don't know. I think we'll be voting for each individual bill, the Health and Human Services, not the policies. There's still education sitting out there. There's taxes sitting out there. So that will still, and that's still in conference committee. So, but then the bonding bill will come after that. So I don't know if we're going to come back and just do a quick one-day session and vote and get out. I'm sure we'll have a lot of Zoom meetings over the whatever time this break is at. I'm dying because right now we are actually in leadership and I'm doing the Al Travis Show, so I would be finding out what the schedule is going to be.
Well, I thank you for doing that for me. Wow, that makes me feel really good about myself. Let me ask you, have you done a commencement speech for graduation of any kind? Have you, as a very important person, done that yet?
Yes, I have, and I have another one coming up for one of the Stillwater charter schools here, June 3rd, I think, too. Yeah.
Well, we only have a minute and a half to go, but Governor Walz was at the University of Minnesota yesterday, and, of course, he was talking about this Gestapo that Trump is running, and then at the end, he's like, I have to be honest with you, you're graduating into a genuine emergency. I don't know. I went to a couple graduations this week, and all of them were uplifting. There might be bad things in the world, but they didn't bring any of them up. Are you generally an uplifting person or one that likes the kids to know it's all over?
I think probably the governor should have ran his speech through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT would have told him, you shouldn't bring politics into uplifting graduation speech. I thought that was absolutely disgusting that he did that, and I actually brought it up in our bonding meeting with the 4 people yesterday going, the governor's not helping himself at all to be mentioning Trump and Gestapo in the University of Minnesota Law School graduation speech. So, and he's coming to the legislature to ask for bonding projects that he really wants, and I'm like, you know what? To heck with him. He says stuff like that about us. Like, I'm in no mood to help him, and if he did my daughter's graduation speech, I probably would have stood up with a megaphone.
Oh, that is just funny. Senator Housley, I love having you on the program. Thank you for taking time out of the big muckety-muck meeting you should have been at and being on my show. I appreciate you a ton. We'll see you. Thank you for coming.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its